2011, I started saving the card backs for my Disney Cars diecasts. Unfortunately, I didn't do this consistently until I consistently started collecting cars in 2017. And today, I thought it would be cool if I went back and took a look at every single Cars card back that I've gotten from my Cars purchases from over the years. Like I already said, as you can clearly see, the stacks get far larger for more recent years. So I've organized all of these by year from 2008 all the way to 2021, and today I'll be going through every Cars diecast card back I have from each year, again starting in 2008. Anyway guys, welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm going to be going through my entire Cars diecast card back collection. Now these cars are set up by what year they were released in, not what year I bought them in. For example, our first card back here, which is this Lightning McQueen from 2008, I didn't get him back in 2008. I got him back in November of 2020, but since he is a, of course, 2008 release, I put him with 2008. So I have the cars organized by the year they came out, not the year I bought them. Although some of these guys I did buy the year they came out. That Holly, for example, I got back in 2011, but some other cars you'll see I got in 2018, 19, 20, etc. Anyway though, let's get started with 2008. So I don't only have these cars organized by year, I also have them organized by what number they were in the series that year, and for years in which the cars weren't numbered, I just did them like alphabetically. Anyway though, for 2008 here we have Lightning McQueen with bumper stickers, and we have Axle Accelerator, my only two cars from 2008, both of which I got recently, as in the only cars from 2008 that I've saved the packaging of. Lightning here was the first chase, and I got Axel last Christmas. He's been released several times, but I specifically got his 2008 release. Moving on to 2009, we have three cars, Impound DJ, another recent addition to my collection from Christmas of 2020. Saluting Sarge, who unfortunately had a bit of a rough time opening this guy up. I got him, I want to say, in late 2017. And he was my first 2009 car that I got after I got back into collecting cars. Like the first one I got after 2009. And I definitely had some difficulty opening him up due to the sort of window style packaging at the time. And clearly my skills at doing that didn't get all that much better, as the lenticular Sarge also took a bit of damage. Moving on to 2010 though, you can see I started getting a bit more careful with opening up these cars. Most of my 2010 cars were ones I got after these two. Unfortunately, I have no cars from the Final Lap collection. I have cars from the Final Lap collection that have been re-released since then, but I really stopped paying attention to cars in 2010. I had started to grow out of it, and I wasn't a fan of lenticulars. I did, however, buy the Cars Tune cars in 2010, but again, no normal releases. So all of these are things that I've gotten far more recently. J Limo, who is on the International Cardback, Mater with Hood, and Mater with Oil Can, who are both chase releases. Metallic DJ, who is the only one out of all of these guys who wasn't a lenticular. Then we have Paint Mask McQueen. Then we move on from those to the Cars Tunes cars. Now with these, most of them are the same. They all have the same front, except the Mater on them and the little tagline here changed depending on the car. So this, of course, is for Rescue Squad Mater. It has a choking hazard warning. I'm not sure specifically who it was. Maybe the Orderly Pitties? Not too sure. Those are the only ones, the only Rescue Squad Mater cars that I got in recent memory on this style card. We then have a card for Mater the Greater. Again, not too sure who I got this for, although I think it was probably Lug and Nutty. Moving on to the second row here, we have four Tokyo Mater single card backs. Again, not sure specifically who these are, but you can see some different cars on the back. Flip this one over too. Interestingly, this one says new instead of custom paint job. Wonder what that's about. I've never really noticed that. Then there is the final one of those. And then finally we have a Mater the Greater Deluxe Packaging Superstar Paint Job. This specifically was for Buck the Tooth Vendor. Moving on to 2011, we've got the Cars 2 cars. Again, some of these, all of these that you're going to see directly next are ones that I got back in 2011 and have saved to this day. Up first we have Holly Shiftwell. Of course, on the back of the packaging for these guys, we had the numbered checklist there. We've got Professor Z. We've got Jeff Gorvette. Or do we? Yeah, this is Raul. When I was little, I cut up poor Jeff Gorvette's Cardback, and I put him on the bulletin board in my room, and this is all that's left. So unfortunately, Jeff has not survived, but still have the picture of him. Then we have Acer, Grem, and finally Rod Torque Redline. Now moving on to the third row here, some of these are more recent Cars 2 purchases of mine. Miles Axelrod, Petrov Trunkov, Nigel Gearsley, who I actually didn't get until like 2 months before I started my channel in 2017, which I think is kind of funny because throughout the history of my channel I've done this big thing where I attempt to get all the Nigel Gearsley variants, and I didn't even have the normal one until like 2 months before I started making videos. We've got Max Schnell, the awesome Radiator Springs Ramon. We've got Alex Vandell here, another very recent purchase of mine, yet another one I got for Christmas recently in 2020. We've got Nick Cartone, a few 2-packs, including Race Team Mater and the Zen Master Pity, specifically the version without the mustache there. Then we have the Grem and Damaged Rod Torque Redline 2-pack that I got when I was making my Redline movie back in 2018. Pretty expensive, but I definitely don't regret it for the exclusive rod. Then we have, I want to say, the second or third Cars 2 car I ever got, the Submarine Fin McMissile. This might be the oldest card back here in terms of when I got it. Starting off our fourth row here, my other deluxe that I still have the packaging for, Kamara Kaizo, the Silver Nigel Gearsley, the Metallic Nigel Gearsley, who for some weird reason has a really big card. I don't know why. He's got like a deluxe sized card for just a normal single. Then we have my only Take Flight collection car, Aviator Mater, one of my personal favorite releases ever. These next three are all for Radiator Springs Racers cars. I'm not sure like which year they were first released in, so I put them here with 2012 because that's when the ride first opened. These two I got in 2019, and this one I got back in 2014. Interestingly, the age marking looks different. Here's the Mickey head. Here it's just in the corner, kind of hard to see. Just something interesting I found out while setting this up. Moving on to 2013. From the Lightning McQueen series, Lightning with Cone and Nature Drive McQueen. From the Mater series, Mater Hosen. And from the Wheelwell series, Wader Mater. Alright guys, so I didn't realize that this would be taking up nearly as much space as it has been, so I just consolidated all of the rows. I just turned our 4 rows into only 3. I almost doubled the size of them. Now we can move on to Tubbs Pacer here from the Lemon series. Then from 2013's Airport Adventure, Ruka. And from 2013's Festival Italiano, Mama Topolino, as well as, unfortunately, yet another victim of the bulletin board. Yep. Yeah, this is one of my favorite releases ever, Uncle Topolino's Band, and unfortunately, clearly opening them when I got them back in 2013 was sort of a struggle. And then I cut off the bottom of the packaging and displayed the back here on my bulletin board. I'm not even putting them with these because it's just, you know, it's damaged, it's all cut up. Anyway, though, moving on to the World Grand Prix Series, Daryl Cartrip with headset, then 2 of the 3 Super Chases, Hiroaki and Takeshi. We have the first line of Star Wars cars from 2013. Only card back from that I still have is Luigi and Guido as R2 and 3PO, unfortunately sort of damaged as well. Man, I really should have gotten all those Star Wars cars when I first saw them. Oh, man. Definitely regret that, because they're so expensive now. We also got the first set of Splash Racers that year. Got Nigel Gearsley from that. And we also got planes in 2013, and my only plane from 2013 is El Chupacabra. Moving on to 2014, from the 95 Pit Crew Series, we have Race Team Luigi and Guido with headsets. I also had a Race Team Sarge with headset from this series, but I think I cut him up for the bulletin board and no longer have that card back. Then we have Lee Rosse, Wheelwell Guido, and Meldorado for the Meldorado Show Series of 2014. Then from the Lemon Series, Acer with headset, Alexander Hugo with party hat, who interestingly has this sticker that says Fuel Your Fun. I got him on an international packaging, as you can see from the fact that he doesn't have the Lemons writing there underneath the logo. And then we have Marco and Marcelo. I think that's their name, because I said the wrong name in my collection video last year. I'm pretty sure that's who they are. Moving on, we have Chisaki and Harumi from the Tuner series, Lubrig and Henry Motorsi from Paris Tour, Megan Carrar from All in All Blowout, Carla Veloso from World Grand Prix. This is really cool for me to do because I could look back and be like, oh yeah, I got my Carla Veloso in 2014, or on the 2014 card. In the case of Carla Veloso, I did actually buy her in 2014 in Disney World, actually. I believe this is her 2013 release. Yeah, it is, because they used Porto Corsa on the card back in 2014. And I'm not sure what they used on the card back in 2013. It might also be Porto Corsa, but the racetrack instead of like the scenery. Dexter Hoover with Checkered Flag from the Piston Cup series. Matthew True Blue McCrew from the RSN series, completely destroyed packaging, one that I got in Disneyland in 2014 alongside several others. Denise Beam, one that I got, I want to say, in 2019 for my birthday, I think. Mama Bernoulli and Alberto. Alberto was another very recent purchase of mine. 2 of the 2014 Tokyo Mater card backs. I'm probably just going to start like stacking these once again to save space because they are basically the same. Then we have red as Chewbacca from the Star Wars cars. This lovely Hydro Wheels packaging, which is for Dynaco Mcqueen. And then we have another Planes character, Maru. And then on the subject of Planes Fire and Rescue and Hydro Wheels, we have a Planes Fire and Rescue Hydro Wheels, Dusty with pontoons. Now let's move on to the next row here, which starts us off in 2015 from the 95 Pit Crew Series, Hydraulic Lightning Ramon and Pit Crew Flow. Then we have Pit Crew member Mac. I believe this is Shigeko from Tokyo Party. Mater with all cans alongside Anomame and Deisu Sashimi. One of my all-time favorite releases, Uchi from Airport Adventure. Chauncey Fairs from Yi Left Turn In. Then we have from the Piston Cup Series, Ruby Easy Oaks and his Pity, who I believe is still unnamed to this day. And then Larry Camper here. From Lost and Found, we have Human. From the 2015 Super Chase line, the Circus... was it Circus Cab, I think it was called? Yeah, Circus Cab. Okay, I didn't know if they called it a cab or a semi. We have Neon Raul on his 2015 art, which I definitely prefer to the original, I think, 2014 release. Although, unfortunately, we have that logo there. We've got Ice Racer Vitali Petrov. We have another Tokyo Mater packaging, except this time it's the 2015 one. I just checked because the copyright date on the back is different, and you can see the 2014 ones had red on the side. This one does not. Then we have 2 Hydro Wheels packagings for the King and also for Sarge. 2015 marked the end of the Star Wars cars. Among that last wave were the Wicket and Low Gray Pitties. That one's Low Gray, that one is Wicket. Then 2015 also marked the end of the Planes diecast line, sort of. I remember I really wasn't paying attention to cars, and especially not planes at the time. But 2015 saw the release of a bunch of 2016 planes too, and then just the line stopped after that. But this is Firefighter Dusty from the Cornfest series. Moving on to the 2016 line, we have Artist Ramon from 95 Returns, Lightning and Mater with no tires for $12 from the 95 Return series. This was from like a local toy store. Then we have Vic Vanley from Cruisin' Tokyo. Also from Cruisin' Tokyo, he's not Ito-san, he's not Trent Croto, he's Jesse Hollander and is basically identical to those other 2. Then we have Bob Pulley, recently, to my surprise, got a re-release in 2021. Tom Bay from Paris Parts Market. Dave Alternators from the Piston Cup series, whose name changed from Davey Apex to Dave Alternators halfway through 2016. He's pretty damaged, but that's because his bubble was taped. Speaking of tape, if you see tape on the top of these, this is because I used to hang them on my closet door. Dan Sklarkenberg and Kim Carlins from World Grand Prix. Brent and David with headsets. We then have Michael Sparkber from the Rusty's series. I just remembered when I got him, I thought I was buying Andy Vaporlock and was very disappointed to realize that I wasn't. And now Andy Vaporlock is incredibly expensive online. We have Craig Feister here. Dynaco Showgirl number 1 from Dynaco Daydream. Strangely, that year there was no release of Dynaco Showgirl number 2. Then we have Michelle and Sedania, also for $11.99. Alright guys, I've now once again consolidated some space, moved some stuff around, started combining cars that have the exact same card back, like those and some of the Cartone guys. Anyway though, up next we have Austin Littleton, a single from the World Grand Prix Pit Crew Series. Then Turbo Bullock and John Lastitire's 2-pack, although in this release he was just called Jeff Corvette's Pity. The absolutely demolished Coriander White Track packaging. This one was, I think, returned to a store and retaped. Then we have Break Boyd, who I shockingly found in a Walmart last year in early 2020, despite being a 2016 release. That was awesome. Studs McGirdle, all three of these guys from LA Speedway. Super Chases, Mater with Duct Tape, and Bud. My first ever review was Bud. A 2016 Tokyo Mater Cardback, the only one from 2016 that I have. Then we have Carbon Racer Nigel Gearsley, and Road Trip Fillmore, Flow, and Lightning. It is in around this spot that I would also put yet another victim of the dreaded bulletin board. One-Eyed Mater. That poor guy got caught up and put on a bulletin board. Another fallen card back. Continuing with the road trip guys, we've got Ramon and Sarge. A color changer of Mcqueen here, the Team RS Mcqueen. The final Hydro Wheels packaging. Sorry if I've been calling them Splash Racers. These guys are Hydro Wheels. The Cars 3 ones are Splash Racers. This is, of course, for Ramon. 3 of the Luigi's Relican Roadsters cars. All of them have the same packaging. Then moving on to 2017, Union Jack Ramon, or Body Shop Union Jack Ramon. Don Crumlin, Vladimir Trunkov with Boot, and Victor Hugo, all from the London Chase line. Then moving on, we have, I believe this was, what was his name? Clutch Foster, I think. It's not on the back, but I'm pretty sure this was Clutch Foster from the World Grand Prix Fan Series. Then we just have a whole stack of miscellaneous 2017 Cars 3 card backs. Really not a big fan of the style of packaging with no image, so I just stacked them all on top of each other because there's no use in laying them all out when they are almost all the same, with the exception of a few there with the collector cards. So you can see that was Darren Leadfoot. Some of them included, of course, the bonus poster. Yeah, this one was Herb Kerbler. This one was Luis Nash. A few of the Radiator Springs Classic Series card backs mixed in there as well. Some 2-packs and deluxes, including an RS Classic Deluxe. Yeah, I just put them all in the same place. Honestly, I think it's better that way since they're all just basically the same, with the exception of these guys, but they're so similar. I'm just going to keep them all stacked up. Speaking, though, of RS Classic Deluxes, Paul Valdez and Gil. Really regret not getting the whole set, including the cab for Jerry recycled batteries. I don't know what I was thinking and why I didn't just buy them all. I saw all of them. I only got these 2. Definitely regret that choice. We have some of the 2017 holiday cars, including Fillmore, Mater, Ramon, and finally Sarge. And then the Splash Racers RV. Then we move into the 2018 and 2019 style packaging. In the Radiator Spring Series, Antonio Veloce Excellente, Marilyn, Nick Stickers, and all the way over there we have Sally. Alright, then moving on, we have Tumbleweed McQueen, the Ramon and Flo 2-pack, Murphy, and Sarge with Cannon, although the picture is just a normal Sarge. Moving on to Dynaco 400, Brian Imagear, Chuck Armstrong, Greg Candyman. We have 2 Lee Revkins, China and Thailand. We've got Lightning, Mario Andretti, Marlon Clutches McKay, Megan Shifter and Mike Stuckcar. We have Race Tow Truck Tom, Dexter Hoover and Charlie Checker, Luke Petalberg and Roger Wheeler, CB, and Dan Holland. Moving on to the next row here, we have Van Scanlane, Adam Park from the World Grand Prix Series, Cruz Pistoro, Honk Cho, Nick Pit Tire, and Petro Cardolina, and Raul, and Rick, and Shu. A lot of cars from World Grand Prix Series, but we're not even done because we also have Eric Langley and Alex Carvel, and Raul and Jeff there, and Globy. Then moving on to the Cotterpin Series, Bill Revs, Jenny Toland, Vanden Kerr, and Xanadu Bumpers. In the Docks Racing Day Series, Heyday River and Heyday Smokey. Alright guys, so I've once again moved stuff around for what's hopefully the final time for the video. So now we have even more space once again. Now let's move on to Leroy Hemming, the Fabulous Hudson Hornet, or Dirt Track Fabulous Hudson Hornet, and Jet Robinson, Carl Clutchen, Dino or Dino Drafsky, I think it's Dino, Marcus Kranksler, Brick and Cal in the 2-pack there, of course from the Piston Cup Racer Series. Moving on to the next row, starting with the next gens, we have Cam, Chris, and Conrad, the 3 Cs, Michael Roeder, Rich Mixon, and Richie Gunzit, Sheldon Shifter there with some tape on him, then Eric Breaker and Spiky Phillips. From the Rusty's Racing Center Series, Shraram, Sterling, Tom W., and then Gabriel and Aiden. From Florida 500, Bob Cutlass, Florida Ramon, Keel Motoray, Cars 3 Lightning McQueen, this was Mater with 95 hat, and Shannon Spokes. Then moving on here, we have Steve Herschel, Aloft, or the Cars 3 Lightyear Blimp, from the very strange RSM series from that year. Unfortunately, his eyes are no longer there, of course, because they were attached to the bubble or the blister. Moving on to Thunder Hollow, Blind Spot, High Impact, Kevin Ryvan, Mo Revlin, Todd Crash, and Hit and Run in the 2-pack there, unfortunately a little damaged. For deluxes, we've got Miss Fritter and Roscoe. Moving on to Scavenger Hunt, the metallic versions of Bobby, Florida Ramon, Cars 3 McQueen, Mario, Marilyn, Nick, Rex, and Sally. Then we've got Sergeant High Gear. And finally for this row, 2 of the launchers for Floyd Mulvihill and Speedy Comet. I have the Brian Spark one too, I guess I didn't keep the packaging. Then moving on to the next row here, we have all the Fireball Beach Racers just in a stack because their packaging was all the same. Same for the Thomasville guys. Onto the XRS Mud Racers, we've got Barry, Cal, Dino, 2 Dynaco Cruises. Hold on. There she is. George Newman, Jackson Storm, Lightning McQueen, Speedy Comet, Steve Slick LePage, and TG Castlenut. Onto the XRS Drag Racers, we got Brick, Cruz, Jackson, Lightning, Spiky, Tim, and then moving on to the Blue Desert cars. Finally, we've got Brand New Mater, Cruz and McQueen, Edwin Cranks, Fillmore, Flo, Old School, and Yellow Ramon, and the Flo and Nikki B 2-pack. Then moving on to the next few rows here, we have Mater with Cone Teeth, my only car from the 2020 Tuner Series, DJ. Moving on to Dynaco 400, we have an absolute ton with Ben Dordan, Billy Oil Changer, Brush Kerber, Dirksen, D'Agostino, Hall Ingas, James Clean Air, Kevin Racing Tire, and Kevin Shiftright. Then we've got Paunchy Wipeout, Rex Revler, Slider Petrosky, The King, of course Strip Weathers, aka The King as he's labeled now, Chick Hicks and Chief Chick, Waitress Mia and Tia, yes, despite the Dynaco 400 series and this image, that's the Waitress variants. Dale Ruffalo, 2 Dynaco Mia and Tia 2-packs. Moving on to the World Grand Prix Series, we've got Carla Veloso, this was actually her with Flames release, Mock Matsuo, Autobahn, Miguel Camino, the 2-packs for Francesco and Raul's Crew Chiefs and Pitties, Lewis Hamilton and Bruce Boxman, Race Team Mater and Fillmore with headsets, Terrell Geartree and Brian Gearlewski. Then we have for the London Chase Series, Fighting Face Mater, the 2020 Holly Shiftwell, Palace Danger Finn McMissile, Race Team Sarge, the Deluxe of Josh Coolant. Then we have for the Ramon's House of Body Art Series, Hot Rod Junior Moon, Hot Rod Smokey, and Hydraulic Ramon. Andrew Vrooman and Jen Tansidan there for the Cotterpin Series, as well as Sweet Tea and Guido, the Scam 2-pack of the century. We've got Randy Lawson, Slim Hood, Wheel Del Lee, Heyday Jr., and Eli Turnpike there for the Docks Racing Day Series. Then moving on to the Copper Canyon Speedway Series, we've got Chris Revstovsky with the white flag, Ray Reverham and Laura Spinwell, Moving on to Piston Cup Racers with Paunchy and Terry. Then for Next Gens, Aaron, Harvey, Jonas, and Noah. We've got the Rev and Go Racing Tractor, the only car I had from the original tractor training line. A bunch of trainees with Ernesto, or I think the yellow one was Jay, then Kurt, and then Ernesto. Trainer Cruz, who unfortunately didn't have her headset in the 2020 artwork, although she does this year. Then Ronald and Jenny. For Florida 500, Chris Rostovsky with the green flag. Sterling, although this was Sterling with headset. Manny McGear and Melissa Bernabrake. For Thunder Hollow, Fair Game, Motor Turner, and Muddy Racing Center McQueen. For Funny Flashbacks, we have Cupcake McQueen, the Hudson Hornet with tire, Kurt with bug teeth, and McQueen with sign back there. And then finally, wrapping up Funny Flashbacks, we have Wasabi Mouth Mater. Then for Scavenger Hunt, we've got Metallic Cal, Hall, Ryan, Snotrod, and Union Jack Ramon. Then we've got the whole silver collection here with Chick, Dynaco Cruz, Jackson Storm, Jeff Gorvette, Leighton McQueen, Miguel Camino over there. Then we have Raul, the King, and Tim Treadless. Then we move on to the Drive-In series with Flick, PT Flea, and Sully. Got all 3 cardbacks for the Pixar Fest there. Of course, all of them are the same. Blowing Bubbles Mater and Sally with Tattoo for the Welcome to Radiator Springs series. Although, unfortunately, Sally with Tattoo was missing her tattoo. We've got a whole stack of the fan favorites cars over there. Then we move on to the Rocket Racers with Barry, Cam, Cruz, and Jackson. And after yet another shift to allow for a bit more space, we're able to fit in the Rocket Racers for Lightning, Paul, and Steve Slick LePage, and my entire stack of the Endurance Racers, quite a few as you can see there. Then we have the Color Changers, Brand New Mater, Bobby Swift, Dynaco Cruz, Francesco, and HJ all the way over there. And finally wrapping things up here, sorry if the angle is a bit weird, I have totally run out of space. I've fully gone into the hallway here. We've got the Color Changer Jackson Storm, Cars 3 McQueen, Paul Conrev, Sheriff, and finally the King. And then we move on to the 2021 cars with Andrea, Darren Ledfoot. We have not 1, but 2 Green Ramones, Manny Flywheel, Mildred Bylane, Holiday Hotshot McQueen, the Easter Buggy, McQueen as the Easter Buggy. Then we have Francesco there, and 2 of Suki. And then finally, the last row, we have the Bumper Save Racing Tractor, Ducky Fauntleroy, Floyd Morgan, Hot Rod, River Scott, the Sputter Stop Tractor, Track Damage Cruise, Will Rush, Racing Red Jackson, Double Clutch Daily, and Dirt Track Hudson Hornet, and finally, stack of the NASCAR cars. And that, everyone, wraps it up. If I had opened up literally one more car, like if I had done this 2 days from now after I review the 2021 Tex, I literally would not have anywhere to put him. We have officially run out of space, but in the end, I was able to lay out all of my card packs. I wish that I could get them all in one screen, but unfortunately, that is just not possible with just the sheer amount of them. I never realized I had this many card backs. Maybe I have a hoarding problem. No, I'm just kidding, but really, one of my favorite things about each Cars Diecast release, the packaging is always such a fun part for me, and I absolutely love seeing how it's changed over the years and saving all of the card backs, even if it does mean that my hallway and an entire room of my house are now just the museum of card backs. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. I'm going to go clean this up. This will take a while. I'll see you guys next time. Bye now.